Good, bro. We're hot.
Sweet, man. We're hot, dude. Cool to finally talk to you.
Yeah, man. What's up?
The Juan on Juan podcast and Occult 45 podcast coming at you live and direct from Washington, D.C.
No, don't put me with the lizards, bro. I'm in Florida. the motherland.
Yeah, man. I'm chilling up here with the lizard people for the summer. Should be leaving here shortly. Hopefully soon. Coming back to Florida. Can't wait.
Are you allowed to talk about what you're doing? You're like literally doing the devil's work.
Well, technically not. I actually did sign an NDA, but I mean, I can like talk about it. It's not like that crazy. It's just like government like data centers and stuff, like storing like massive amounts of data. So I'm an electrician, so I go on the road doing this shit, but I don't always do data centers. Like I did the Blue Origin project down there, Cape Canaveral and shit. Like shit like that.
Is that SpaceX or what is that?
That's the Jeff Bezos like dick shape.
Oh shit, bro! You're literally working with the fucking lizard people.
Dude, it's yeah. I mean, it's pretty crazy. I mean, they're definitely launching rockets, but I don't know if it's going to the places that they're saying it's going.
Dude,
I'm there with it.
Man, that whole debate of is it round or is it flat? To be honest, bro, like I've been thinking about that lately. Does it really fucking matter? Does it matter if it's round or flat? Is it gonna change anything? You know what I mean? Like, is it gonna? We know for a fact, never a straight answer, right? It's NASA. They are shady, dog. We know this. But what difference does it make if they did go to the moon or not?
Yeah, you know, a lot of people ask me that same thing, and it's like, dude, I'm not even full flat Earth. I'm just like, I'm definitely not with what they're saying it is, like, you know. And I know, I mean, what difference does it make to you? I guess everybody would have a different answer, maybe.
So space is fake and gay. We know this, right? I don't know how the logistics work of when you go into space, you turn gay or like how that works. You know, I've just heard it put that way. So I think that because by the laws of physics, by the laws of, I don't know how to call it. Well, you know how they say nothing can exist in a vacuum. Essentially, space is nothing by its own definitions, if you will, right? It's like a vacuum. There's nothingness. It's all what they call antimatter and dark matter. I think these are all just words for magic that they can't understand and grasp, and they just put these quantum titles on it, quantum physics or quantum entanglement or this and that. That's magic, bro. This is what these guys back then were talking about, and you know, John D and all these guys when they were messing with forces that they didn't know about. That's what they're messing with today. They just put a nice title on it. So only a certain hierarchy of individuals within society can understand. Oh, I'm a scientist. I'm an electrician. I work with data centers and whatever it may be. You know what I mean? So they put a hierarchy on knowledge. And that's when you get the whole occult knowledge and the occult circles and all these things. But essentially, I think that all this stuff with space and the flat earth, I think about it all the time, but me personally, I've even heard, I think might be another dimension, bro. You know what I mean? It might be another dimension, but I just feel it's too elaborate for it to be 100% fake, like 100% fake. Like I've talked to Mark Sargent and obviously David Weiss, and they talk about how it's a projection system and the stars. Dude, I have a telescope right behind me, like badass telescope right there. I've looked at these fucking celestial bodies myself, and they look legit to me, bro. You know what I mean? Like they look legit to me, but we will die not knowing the truth. We will die not knowing the truths of of 9/11 or any of these crazy conspiracies that we talk about. We're gonna die never knowing what actually happened, right? Like, we're not gonna know.
Maybe when we go into that other world at the end of this life,
If there is one, dude. My dad just
yeah, you're right. You're right.
my dad died my dad died 4 times, bro. Right? He recently had a heart attack like 2 years ago now, and he died 4 times. 4 times, right? They were working on him for 45 minutes. And I asked him when he came back, or after he was better, I'm like, dude, how was it, bro? You were in and out for 45 minutes straight. And every time they brought you back, you were weak, or you were still in that in between, the limbo, the logos, wherever, the upside down, wherever you were. What was it like? He goes, like, nothing. I didn't see anything. I just remember going to the hospital because the heart attack happened at the hospital. He was having some pain. I just remember getting to the hospital, answering questions, and I just remember waking up whenever I woke up a day later, 2 days later, whenever it was. Didn't remember anything. Now, there's a couple things that could have happened there. Obviously, it wasn't his time to go, or else he wouldn't still be here. And I believe that there is a certain frequency one needs to be attuned to in order to cross over to that other side. The world of forms that Plato talked about, heaven, Shambhala, whatever you want to call it, that all these different cultures have called it all throughout the centuries. So maybe since it wasn't his time, he wasn't aligned onto that frequency in order to be able to see the other side, whatever that may be. So when he went out, yeah, he was out, but he wasn't seeing what was on that side. You know what I mean? It wasn't 100%. He wasn't 100% dead, is what I'm trying to get at. So, but that's from directly from the mouth of the horse that he saw nothing. And I've heard people talk about how when you're gone, you're gone. That's it's nothingness. There is no metempsychosis. There is no reincarnation. There is no samsara. There's no nothing, bro. It's just emptiness. You just dissolve into emptiness and you become nothing. And it doesn't hurt because you're nothing.
Yeah, I mean, the feeling of nothingness. I mean, I guess that's what when I was in Mexico a few years ago, I smoked 5-MeO DMT from the Sonoran Desert Toad. And I mean, that feeling of nothingness is just like the best feeling that you could ever feel from anything. Like, you're just no thought, no any memory of anything on this earth. Like, you just completely gone. So I mean, but I think when I did that in Mexico, I think that like somehow definitely aligned me to like some kind of frequency, because now if I go into the DMT space, every single time it's just like instantly in this other completely other world, tons of different types of beings, like sometimes like doing stuff to me, and it's just like every single time I go there. So I don't know, I just think that like something, when I did what I did in Mexico, that like aligned me to this type of frequency where it's easier for me to go there. I don't really know. It's just crazy.
What do they do to you, bro? Are you talking about like they touch you inappropriately or what?
No, nothing. I mean, it's just like a really intense interaction with these like super advanced interdimensional aliens, basically. And I've had them, I mean, like beam hieroglyphics into my like forehead before, and like just the tube that they stuck in my chest. I mean, like when they did that in that realm, I could feel that shit in my body, and like my girlfriend saw me grab my chest right there. So whatever they were doing to me like was affecting my body. So that's just crazy right there. And I've had them like stick this weird like metal like needle type thing into my mouth, in between my 2 front teeth, and then they were just like seeing how I was taking it, and then he was like looking at like the ones behind him, and like shaking his head, and he was just like looking back at me. And then when I came back here, I could like taste this crazy like metallic like alien metal. That's the only way I could describe it. Just this crazy like metallic taste all throughout my mouth.
Sounds fucking horrendous, bro.
Dude, it was like crazy. I mean, it wasn't like bad what they were doing. Like I wasn't like scared, but it was just really intense and just like kind of freaky.
Yeah, well, I would be freaked out too. Aren't you? I learned recently there's bufo toads here, bufo frogs, toads, whatever, here in Florida, dude. I know that.
Yeah, but I don't know if those are the cane toads, which if your dog eats them, I think they die.
But they produce DMT though, right?
I'm not sure. I know Bufo alvarius, which is the Colorado river toad / Sonoran desert toad. That is
that's the one from Hamilton Morris's Pharmacopoeia, right?
Yeah, and I'm going to Peru on December 2nd, and I'll be doing that again, actually.
So are bufo toads native to Florida? Because I learned this on a podcast I was on, and the cane toad, also known as the bufo giant or marine, is a large non-native amphibian. Let's see here. They're considered invasive, right, like everything else here in Florida, and poisonous to most animals that try to bite or consume them. I want to know if they create DMT, though.
Yeah, I mean, I know they might produce like a mixture that has more of the bufotenine, I think it's called, and that I know if people try smoking that, I know you get like really sick, and you might even die. I'm not even sure.
Wow. But, so there's, I'm not finding anything on the particular one, but the one that you're saying, the bufo alvarius toad, is the one that produces it.
Yeah, and actually, I was at a reptile show in Tampa, and they were selling those like full grown for like $40 each.
Really?
Yeah. And I was like, hey,
we're gonna have to take a visit there, bro.
Repticon in Tampa, yeah. And I was like, so have you ever popped those guys? And he was like, no, I do not do that. But I have a friend down in like Costa Rica who has like 20 of these who only does that to him. But he treats them good and shit.
Yeah, you're supposed to irritate them, rub them on like a piece of glass, right? And then you let it dry and you scrape that up. And is that it?
You squeeze the gland on the back of their neck, and they have glands along their legs too, and that's what you pop onto the glass. Supposedly, it doesn't hurt them. Yeah, and then
so you have to milk it.
Yeah, you have to milk it, and then just dry it on the glass, and then that's what you smoke. But yeah, it's intense, man. It's intense. I'll be doing it for the second time coming up in a few months.
Have you ever had I forgot what they call a reactivation. Is that what they call them? Because I'm really scared of. I've never done DMT before, and I haven't. I had a listener of the show the other day. It's like, hey, dude, we should hang out, and we can do DMT while we hang out. I was like, I'll pass, bro. But my buddy, I have a friend who's been on the podcast a bunch of times. He talked about how he'll have, I want to say he calls them reactivations, or not a relapse, but like he calls it a reactivation, to where he'll be hanging out after doing 5-MeO, and it only happens with 5-MeO. And if he smokes weed too quickly, say a few weeks after tripping 5-MeO, that he'll have like a reactivation. It'll be like he's having another 5-MeO trip, except the body just activates it by itself.
Wow.
Have you ever had that happen? That's why I'm terrified of 5-MeO in specific.
No, but I've definitely had not like a flashback, but like a inrush of goodness. a inrush of maybe like residual amazingness coming from, like, I just gotta remember back to the experience, dude, and I can like change how I feel, basically, because I mean that shit was just life-changing, man. I'm
interested in it, bro, but that's the creme de la creme of psychedelics. That is the top.
It is.
That is the top psychedelic. That's there's nothing. Obviously, there's stronger drugs in that, but as far as psychedelics go, that's the one. That's the one that they talk about. that the body produces, that the pineal gland produces, that's what causes these near death experiences, the rush that when you have after a near death experience. They say that the lungs produce it. They say you can produce it doing breathing exercises. That's why these monks that would go into underground caves, and secret societies also go into underground caves. And by the absence of the light and the breathing, they're able to produce more DMT in their body. The lungs being one of the biggest organs in the body produces the most of it, allegedly, right?
So
And
they say.
so they say, and by this you're able to induce. I've never done Wim Hof, but I've known people who've done it, who they say that they have some crazy psychedelic experience. But it would make sense if you're depriving your brain of oxygen. You know what I mean? You're literally inhaling so quickly and out inhaling and exhaling so quickly that your body doesn't have enough oxygen to catch up. So you're depriving your brain of oxygen essentially, and you're gonna start tripping out. I've had friends who tell me that they fainted before while doing these exercises in the morning, just like breathing real hard in and out, and they'll friggin' almost black out.
Yeah, I've done a little bit of Wim Hof breathing. Before I left to go on the road for this work trip a few months ago, I was doing it in the mornings when I wake up, and the guided one on YouTube or whatever. And yeah, I mean, definitely after a while, like closing your eyes, you can start to like see like light fractals and stuff. But I mean, I didn't do it that much, but I've done different like deep breathing exercises within the sensory depth tank, and I've seen like colors and like light shows going on, but that's just all from you because it's completely dark in there. So I've had stuff like that happen in the sensory deprivation tanks.
I have two, but nothing too crazy. I've had
Exactly.
I don't know how to describe it, but I I might have meditated there, I guess. It was the second or third time I had done the sensory deprivation, and it was like I was in this it was more of a mental space than anything. It wasn't like out of body or anything like that. And I was able to meditate, and I was in outer space. I didn't feel gay or anything, but I was there. I've been there. But I know somebody. So speaking about the entities, because that's always been something that's piqued my interest when it comes to DMT. And they
Yeah,
say
it's
that,
the most interesting thing in the world, dude.
yeah,
To me.
and they say that you're able to see the firmament when it's like the Flammarion engraving where the dude is peeking out of the veil of existence. And I've talked to a schizophrenic before, and it's how Crowley says how these goetic entities are actually part of our psyche. Do you think that these things are maybe part of our psyche, and you're just tapping into, because essentially we don't know what our brain is capable of. It's this piece of meat that's in our skulls that we don't know if it produces consciousness. We don't know if it receives consciousness or what it does. Do you think maybe by doing DMT you're activating something in your brain? Because it seems that everybody that I've talked to who's done DMT, they talk about how great it is, but they don't ever come back with any answers more than they already know. So like a schizophrenic, for example, and I've talked to him before, they say that these entities that they encounter, they show them things that only they would know. It's not like they're showing them something brand new, almost like how to cure cancer or how to do anything crazy. It's their own memories. The guy that I talked to says he has this screen that'll go up in front of him. The screen goes up in front of him and it'll play memories of when he was a kid, of his family and stuff like that. But it's never anything else out of the ordinary. It's things that he already knew, but it's being presented to him in like some warped, fucked up way because he's hearing voices and all these things, and these voices are telling him to do things. And it reminds me of what Crowley was talking about, how these goetic entities and goetias, these demons and these entities are actually yourself, and how you're able to tap into that psychologically. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I mean, I do not rule that out at all. I mean, it could be. It could be like a way to communicate like with your own cells. I mean, it could you could just be going deep into your subconscious, and these are like just ways that whatever this thing is, when you smoke it, it's just ways that this other side gets messages to you, I guess. I don't know. It's so hard to explain. That's why I like Terrence McKenna, listening to him, because he does such a good job at describing it. And a lot of the stuff that he describes is like a lot of the stuff that I be seeing too. And but I don't rule it out being an aspect of your own mind. You know, it could be. But a lot of people, including me, like after you have the experience, it's like, I don't know if that's just my mind, dude. That seems a little bit too out there to be made up by my brain. But like you said, we don't know what our own brain is capable of. Like the movie Carrie, right? She's moving shit with her mind.
Carrie, I think I've seen that one.
I haven't even seen it. I've been meaning to watch it. But
or like even the show Stranger Things, bro, where she's able to open up literally portals to another dimension. Yeah. Which is essentially what you're doing. You're tapping into the DMT realm. But
for sure,
it makes me think of what Carl Jung talked about, how if you're able to speak to your shadow self, so the subconscious, the ego, whatever that may be, that will reveal things to you. Your dark self will reveal things to you. And that is what a lot of these occultists try and achieve. They try to eliminate the ego that's in the way. And that's why they do a lot of Bornless One rituals and the abyss, crossing the abyss, to be able to connect with the Holy Guardian Angel. That's the whole thing, because the Holy Guardian Angel is able to tell you things, that the secrets to everything. I mean, that's what John Dee and Edward Kelly were on about, where these entities, but it was through the medium of Edward Kelly. They were promising them occult knowledge, so they kept pushing the boundaries. Like a Jack Parsons, another occult, one of the greatest occultists of all time, kept pushing the boundaries. The Babylon Working, L. Ron Hubbard, they were trying to manifest the fucking Scarlet into existence. So these occultists want to keep pushing the envelope at whatever means necessary, even if that means ripping a portal in space and time, literally, which is what they're trying to do at CERN. So who knows what our brain is even capable, what our minds. We all grew up with the whole thing, we only use 10% of our brains. Do we really? How the fuck do you know? When they're operating on somebody's brain, bro, have you seen those videos where they're in the brain and the guy will be playing an instrument or something to make sure that they don't touch what they're not supposed to be touching?
What the fuck?
Have you ever seen that?
I've seen like the videos where they're like operating on people with like a robot.
No. They'll have their skull open and they'll be, operating. Yeah, while he's playing a piano or violin or something, to make sure that they don't, if they're cutting out a mass or something, to make sure that they don't cut out a part that the guy needs.
I have not seen that, no.
Bro, I'll pull it up, but is it wild listening? So you're telling, you're guessing. You're guessing to make sure. Keep playing, bro. Keep talking. Oh, he stopped talking. Oh shit, put it back. Put it back, bro. Not that one. He comes back. So I went to the doctor not long ago and I was reading the paperwork of the one that you sign. And it says it real clear on there. The practice of medicine is not 100%. It's not 100%. It's still a practice. So you help indemnify us if we fuck you up, like pretty much, all the whole thing, and you have to sign at the bottom. So you're signing knowing that this guy might not know what the fuck he's talking about, because he's practicing medicine. And I wanted to be a cardiologist for the longest time when I was in high school, and I did the whole nursing program and all that bullshit. So I know a little bit about when it comes to biology and anatomy and all this stuff, because I went through all the steps. I did the whole, I forgot what they call CNA program or whatever, the one where you take care of the elderly. I did all that shit, bro. Like I did all that in high school. So
Changing diapers.
yeah, dude, I did all that shit in high school. So it wasn't the greatest, but I mean, somebody's got to do it, right? That's the whole thing.
Absolutely.
And so it's a practice, and they don't even know 100%. So you're telling me that you're gonna go to Mars and you're gonna start a colony there, dude? There are animals in our waterways that look. Have you ever looked at a manta ray while tripping on mushrooms?
Not yet, but I'm sure it's awesome because I know the underside of them looks like a little dude's like smiling at you.
It's the trippiest. That is an alien, bro. Look at an octopus.
For sure.
They say that
Yeah.
that came through panspermia, that they were planted here from an asteroid or something. That's the trippiest animal ever, bro. If I could be an animal, I'd be an octopus. It's crazy. It's fucking wild.
I got.
Did I lose you? Yo, Evan, you froze up, bro. I think I lost you, man. Yo.
Technical difficulties going on. Oh, there you are.
There you go, bro.
So, whoops.
You're good.
I don't know. I don't know if that was you or me.
Yeah, I don't know. You're back now.
Yeah, but the octopus thing, that's crazy, man. Yeah, they can like remember you and they like play with people like underwater and like yeah, that's a weird ass animal, man.
So
The cells in their skin like change to like blend in with anything.
yeah, we covered it on an episode one night. I was pulling up this video of this octopus trying to imitate artificial patterns. So it was like a checkerboard, then it was like some seat, and you could tell it was trying so hard to turn into whatever it was feeling. But even the fact that it's able to touch something and blend in with that's an alien, bro. That's cloaking technology that we don't know how it's. I've always been tripped out by the movies where the technology is really organic. You know what I mean? Like an alien movie, like the Alien franchise, how the technology is organic in the movie Prometheus, where it's you could tell it's advanced technology, but they have to plug themselves into it, and it's real organic. It makes you feel kind of uncomfortable. So that's what I think about when I think of like advanced technology, not this clunky ass circuit board and USB. No, I'm talking about like some organic looking, non-Euclidean geometry looking thing where it looks like a blob, but then the blob does crazy technological things.
So weird. And I was talking about it with Mark from My Family Thinks I'm Crazy. The octopus in like Lake Vostok or whatever, and like in the Arctic, like telepathically, like controlling like this like crew that like went down there or something. They were like getting like telepathic messages from this like octopus creature.
A Cthulhu?
I don't know. I forget exactly the story or what it was, but I remember talking about that with him.
You said it's a movie?
No, it like actually happened. This like crew
What?
went to Lake Vostok.
Hold on, let me look this shit up. Bro, are you sure? Are you sure? Because I'm about to fact check you right now,
dude. Yeah, no, check. I mean, I'm not sure. I'm telling you. Yeah, I'm not sure, but it was something like that. Yeah, it was like telepathically giving these like military dudes like downloads and like or maybe like controlling like his hand or something. Like, dude, I don't know.
What? Hold on, bro. What in the fuck? Hold on. Organism 46B, an enormous 33, of course, 33 foot long. Oh, all right, whatever.
There it is again.
33, 14 tentacled squid-like creature which lived in Lake Vostok, a subglacial lake located under 2 miles of ice beneath Vostok Station in the Antarctic. This makes me think of the movie where I think it's Europa, where they go to one of the moons on, I want to say Jupiter, and it's like a lake planet that's frozen over. And when they land on it, they start having like the same thing where there's this creature that is trying to almost like an octopus-like creature that's like communicating with them and taking away, like killing everybody. So let's look this up. Organism 46B. This is a new cryptid to me. Wow, bro.
What is the
Organism, and I think you just cut out. Let's wait for you to come back. They don't want us to know about organism 46B. Yo, Evan. They either don't. I knew we shouldn't have brought up what you did, bro.
See, dude? Yeah.
I knew we shouldn't have brought up what you did for work, because now they're...
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Right when we start talking about that kind of stuff and all this starts happening. Hey, man, I didn't say where I work or who I work for. I'm just saying the general scope of what I'm doing up here, you know?
Well, you kind of name dropped somebody earlier, but it is what it is. So it's...
Oh, yeah, the NASA thing. But
yeah. Well, you work for lizards. Let's just say that. So
no.
Organism 46-B. And was an aquatic beast allegedly captured by a Russian scientific team near the research outpost Vostok Station. This is wild, bro. I didn't even know this. The animal had limbs that were animate and aggressive even after amputation. Wait, hold on. I think this is fake.
Yeah, I don't even know if that's the same story that we were talking about.
Wait, is this real? Hold on. Oh, this is a fucking hoax, bro. I had to say.
I mean, the internet's crazy, dude.
No. So elements of this report suggest that it was something of a hoax. So was it really? Because this is the premise of Thing in the Ice, the Mountains of Madness,
right?
Where it's quote unquote fiction. But what I was talking about earlier, will we really ever know if it's fiction or not until you cross over to the others? It's like Bigfoot, bro. That's why I'm kind of jelly that you talk about Bigfoot all the time with all these researchers, because I've tried to hit some of them up and they don't ever want to fucking talk to me. But like the whole thing with Bigfoot being interdimensional or not, and you froze up again. Yo, Evan. I don't think it's me, right? Shouldn't be me. Yo. They do not like us talking about any of this shit. Because you were just fine at the beginning.
There it is. Okay, we got this.
Yeah, they don't like us talking about this shit, bro.
Oh, no. They definitely don't.
All right, so we're going to stop talking about this thing that because I didn't even know about this. But it makes sense. There's no credibility, but that's fine. And they're talking about Putin developing a shape-shifting killer octopus. What is this? What is this, bro?
Yeah, man.
Oh my goodness. This is like 100% whatever. I'm not even going to read this propaganda. Like they talked about, who was it? I think it was actually Russia that they had killer, or China or somebody had killer dolphins. You hear about that report?
Well, I did not hear about that, but that's weird that you say that, because I was going to say dolphin births. Have you ever heard of that?
Dolphin births?
Go ahead with what you were saying though, and then I'll tell you.
No, that's all I had. But what are you on about, bro?
So, dude, this shit. Okay, so I don't even know if this is true, but I've heard that there was this like clinic in Hawaii that specialize in dolphin births. So if a pregnant woman goes in a pool with dolphins, like right before she's about to give birth, the dolphins start like swimming around her and like making like this like whirlpool around her and like start doing all this weird shit. And when the baby's born, supposedly they're born with like all kinds of like telepathic abilities. They can like, they're super smart. They develop quicker. They're like really like healthy. So like, I mean, and the whole thing about dolphins, like Atlantis, like I mean, dude, who knows, man? And I mean, they're like, their brains are like bigger than ours.
Yeah, they have like two brains. It's like two brains in one. I don't know if you've seen
double brain dolphin.
Because when they sleep, again, I'll look this up now, but you're absolutely right. There is dolphin assisted childbirth is what they do. But to add on to what you're talking about, because I've heard this before, but essentially dolphins' brains, let me screen share real quick. This is really fascinating, actually. So dolphins' brains, So here you go. Dolphin assisted childbirth was a bad idea, but apparently it is like some sort of ceremony, bro. They do it where it's like a spiritual healing, and I don't know. I mean, let's see here, dolphin brain, so you can see what it looks like. But essentially, it's got.
Dude.
So what from what I've read, because there's also a conspiracy concerning that the dolphins are actually the Atlantean race, right? But this is a dolphin brain, and what ends up, it's like literally like two brains in one, and one side controls one side of their body. So when they're sleeping, they shut one side down and they have one eye open. And this is allegedly, right? I'm not a biologist or anything, so this is what I read off the internet. But it would make sense, right? Where they are highly advanced. They communicate literally telepathically by making noises and clicks and all this stuff. So it is how the whole alien gray agenda, where they're able to talk to you, Valiant Thor or the Ashtar Galactic Command, where they're able to talk to you without even saying anything. So this is essentially what they are. They're not talking. They're making clicking noises and beaming rays at you. Look at their fucking brains, bro.
Right. Making tongue clicks, and they know what the other one's saying.
It's larger and more complex than a human's.
I have never seen that before, then. I never knew their brain looked like that.
Yeah, bro. It's wild, dude. It's wild. And they say that look at this. They're sending beams from their... They echolocate their prey, dude. Wow. That's an alien. So you're going to tell me that you're not going to investigate this at the bottom of our oceans, and you're going to go ahead and go to Mars? I think that Musk is an alien who crash landed. If you look at him, bro, you can't tell me. I posted the other day he was a homunculus on my Instagram. That dude looks like a fucking homunculus, bro. Let's see here. Elon.
I mean, he could be, dude. I mean, a lot of the beings that I see in the DMT space look like us, but they're definitely not us.
So you're saying he's from the DMT realm, bro?
Maybe he's a DMT elf here to show us.
That's why he's a troll, right? That's why he's a troll, dude. You're absolutely right. I love that. Dude? Let's write that down. Elon Musk is a
DMT elf troll.
DMT elf.
DMT elf.
Yeah, that would make sense because he's the real troll archetype, literally incarnated. He likes to post a lot of I think memes are magic, so he's doing a lot of meme magic. But he's living a video game, bro. That's why I think it is all about... I think we're in a simulation of some sorts, and I think that they're trying to... So, Nick Bostrom, part of the simulation argument, there's 3 or 4 arguments within that argument. And one of the ones is that we're going to get tired of making simulations within this simulation. How in Westworld, it's a simulation inside of a simulation, right? If you want to believe that. It goes back to Pythagoras, how he talked all is number. If all is number, then it's all binary code. And if it's all binary code, it's a simulation. And if it's a simulation, there would be a hint at that there is a creator, that there is a programmer, an architect, or something. And that's where you get the Watchers. That's where you get the concept of the Watchers, because the Watchers are watching the divine alchemist or the divine programmer, the divine architect at work. They're watching him do, and the work is fabricating reality in real time. That's where you get the Watchers from. That's the whole thing. So if Pythagoras is right, that all is number, then it would mean it's binary code, bro. 1s and 0s, like the Matrix, the whole Matrix thing. They weren't far off. You know what I mean? They were, when these guys back then were talking about higher levels of existence, the theory of forms and all these things, they're talking about a reflection of a more divine world, of a perfect world, that this world is full of imperfect forms of the perfect thing up there. So when you write a code, it's perfect. And you know, and sometimes in video games, when it's projected into the video game, it's all clunky and shit, but you still programmed it. You still had the idea of it being a perfect horse, for example. But you ever played Skyrim, dude, when they're walking into walls and they're doing all this funky shit? Well, it was programmed to be normal. It's just that's what you got. You know what I mean? Am I making any sense?
Yeah, definitely. The program sometimes has glitches in it, and that's where deja vu comes from. You know, like you're bleeding through from the other side, getting memories from maybe a different time that you were in the program before. You know, but yeah, that makes sense. I mean, not the firmament, the simulation thing. I mean, I'm with that. I mean, I think that's a good possibility. Like the whole Avatar thing, man. I mean, could be, dude. Like there's some shit on the other side that's like plugged in, like living our lives for us and like upgrading their whatever we're giving to that other side, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Using the lessons that we learn here to upgrade themselves. And that's what each one of us are. I mean, you know, like what if you die and you open your eyes and you look down and you're an alien holding a bong and you're looking around and all your friends are like, hey, did you feel it, dude? You know, and this whole thing is a trip.
Did you have a breakthrough, dude? And you're just a fucking alien with a bong, bro?
Yeah, like, damn, that went by quick.
You ever done salvia, dude?
I have, but no, I didn't really have anything happen. But I know a lot of the bad experiences come from because you're supposed to chew it. And when you chew it, like they do down in Mexico, when you chew it, it's a really pleasant experience. But when you smoke it, that's when people see all this like dark, crazy shit.
I had a friend of mine. I've heard stories too, and I had a friend of mine who he said that I don't know if it was him or if I heard it on their podcast. Well, he was in front of his friend, and his friend did it. And when he was like, "Oh, yo, it's your turn to do," like, so when he did it, he said that he was contorting and all this shit into this ottoman, like this fucking couch. And then when the guy was like out of it because he had to watch over him, he was like, "Dude, I was just talking to him, and he's just sitting there," and I'm like, "Dude, are you all right?" He's trying to talk to him, and dude is just sitting there, and then he starts contorting and twisting, almost like a demonic type of thing. And funny thing, when the guy snaps out of it, he's like, "All right, dude, now it's your turn." He's like, "Fuck that!" I just watched you freaking try to wrestle the ottoman. You think I'm gonna do that now? I'm not gonna do that. So, and I have another friend of mine, but I don't think we've ever talked about his trip. But I've heard of people, dude, who live entire lifetimes in the salvio realm. Can you imagine being trapped somewhere and not being able to escape? That's like being accused of a crime that you didn't commit. You have no way of clearing your name. It's like one of my biggest fears, bro. You know?
Yeah, I mean, getting trapped there would suck. Just like the whole that reminds me of like people who are going into these like sarcophagus type things over in like the pyramids and having like out of body experiences, and supposedly like a few people have died or like
What?
not been able to, like they go and have the out of body experience, and then but they can't figure out how to get back because they don't know the like techniques of the builders and shit. So they can't figure out how to get back in their body, then they're just dead. Like you're done. So, you know.
Wait, so they do psychedelics or do they meditate or something?
I think they just meditate, and I think it's happened to like a few people, but they don't like put it on the news and shit because they don't want people knowing that shit. But I don't even remember where I heard that, who I heard that from, but I remember hearing it somewhere.
Yeah, it's really interesting because
yeah,
I'm planning on going to Egypt hopefully in 2023, the beginning of next year. So hopefully I can get back in the body when I'm able to.
Yeah, dude, that's gonna be awesome. Yeah, I think we're planning on next year too, sometime, but maybe like later in the year. I'm not sure, but dude, yeah, I definitely got to go check that out. You got to go check that out.
Yeah, I have to do that before I die because it's
awesome.
It's one of those things where it's one of the greatest wonders of the world, the universe that we know of, right? And just to see, because I don't think people grasp how large the pyramids are, dude. Like they're when you see
Fucking massive.
huge, bro. I think I want to say I forgot how many acres exactly it is, but actually I'll look it up. I have a supercomputer right in front of me. I can look up all the
Or like,
ever.
yeah, yeah. I don't know how. I know they go by like cubits, like when they're measuring that kind of stuff. But I'm sure there's like a transfer. I'm sure they know like the
So
over to acres.
it's 13 acres. So it's
Holy
5.3
shit!
hectare hectares, I guess that's how I'd say it. But 13 acres, bro. And for those that don't know, 13 acres is a lot. It's
Damn.
700 and so is a square with each side measuring 756 feet, covering an area of 5.3 hectares, 13 acres, bro. And I forget how many millions of stones it is, but it's fucking ginormous.
So is the 13 acres for like one, or is that like the whole like Giza
No,
complex?
that's the Great Pyramid of Giza.
Okay.
The Giza
Wow.
complex. I'll pull it up now. The Giza complex is, and for those that don't know, the the reason that when you see pictures of the pyramids and the reason that there's nothing else around them and you see them, in the distance far away from the city, because 85% of Egypt is still under sand. And there are massive systems of tunnels and catacombs underneath the plateau. So if they were to build anything on there, the foundation wouldn't be able to hold the weight of whatever it is and it would crumble. But there are tunnels all over the place, dude. I mean, have you ever seen the boxes of, I want to say it's Saqqara? Let me look it up.
The fucking ones that had like the bull like skeletons supposedly.
They never found any in there, but they said it was for the Apis bull. Yeah,
Right, right. And those were made with copper tools and
the
like stone shit. Yeah, right, dude.
Serapeum of Saqqara. And dude, this is so fascinating. I love anything related to ancient civilizations because it makes you think. But check these out. Let's see here. I want to get so we can get a comparison of how big it is next to a person. These things are huge, dude. And if you see, there it is right here. So look at this guy, bro. Look at this box. And the way that people get in here is through this narrow,
Hang on 1 second, bro.
this narrow ladder. The people get in through is like they go in through this, I guess, tunnel or something, and they jump in and they come down this ladder. How are they even able to bring this thing in there? Let alone lift it, let alone anything else. And then if you look at the finish, it's almost polished. It's almost perfect. Look at this, bro. Look at this.
Dude.
It's perfectly made, dude.
Perfectly square, perfectly flat. I mean, just machined to perfection. And yeah, dude, that's so massive. So heavy.
And then some of these inscriptions here, the engravings are very crude. So obviously the civilization that found it, and they just try to mark it as their own, which the Egyptians were infamous for that, for scratching off things from the previous dynasty and putting on their own. And I think there's a misconception when it comes to technology. We think of nuts and bolts, circuit boards type of things. But if you look at the pyramid, the Giza Plateau complex, Pyramid of Giza Plateau, if you look at, fuck, I spell it right? Plate AU. If you look at it, it looks like a circuit board, bro. It's got all the capacitors, all these things. It looks like a circuit board if you really look at it. If you look at the
resistors.
yeah, if you look at this, bro. Look at this. It looks like a circuit board. If you look at the ones
really
in Mexico, they look like circuit boards too. So I think personally they had they made a world wide web back then, literally a world wide web, and there's a reason why their pyramids, the shape, is able to conduct and maybe refract light in a certain type of way. And I think that they were essentially squirt guns for the soul, dude. That's
Yeah,
what
I
I
was
think it was.
just gonna ask you, do you think they could teleport with these structures?
Yes, I do think. I think that they were able to. I think that's what happened to these ancient civilizations, bro. If you look at Mohenjo-Daro, if you look at the ancient Egyptians, they talk about how, oh, they got
Mayans.
the Mayans. They talk about, oh, they got taken over. Really? So by who? Oh, the Hyksos took them over. Well, who the fuck were they? Oh, they were just a nomadic tribe, nomadic people. So you're gonna tell me one of the greatest civilizations of all time got taken over by some nomadic nobodies that just came over and they just got integrated into the culture, and they just, sure. I think I've had a friend of mine lay in the box in the King's Chamber, Queen's Chamber, I forgot which one.
Damn, that's crazy.
And he's talked about how they don't let you chant in the chamber, right? They don't let you chant for some reason. They don't want you to put out any vibrations or anything. And the group that he was with, it was private enough to where they all started to hum a certain tone, and tone in ceremonial magic plays a very big role. And he says that when he laid in the box, this granite box, right? Granite. He said that it started to shake and vibrate so violently that he needed to get out. So I think that the pyramids are working at like 2% right now than what they were intended for. And I think that a certain time of the year, certain time of the day, certain time of the season, whatever, I think they were able to literally, how I told you, like teleport through something, bro. I mean, there's a reason why they make the show Stargates and stuff like that.
For sure, dude. Like when I'm watching that kind of shit, I just like something inside me is just like, dude, I know that this shit's true. Like, it's like it's just crazy. I mean, I sure want it to be true. That's for sure. But dude, I mean, they definitely show us in.
And they just shut you up right now, bro. They like definitely show us and they cut you off. The disrespect. It's all good. We're still here. And Evan, for the 5th time already, is frozen. I did a podcast yesterday, so I don't think it's me. I'm hardwired in. He's at a hotel. Probably the Wi-Fi is ass. But it's all good. We're here for you, Evan. And if they're listening to us, what's up to the lizard people? Just know that we know that you're listening to us while we talk about some dope ass shit.
Yeah, we know you lizard people are fucking listening. Get off our stream, man.
They're spying on us, bro. They say, hold on, you can't talk about the Stargates? No.
Yep.
Get out of
Okay,
here.
and they're talking about Stargates. Shut them down. Okay. Yep.
Yeah, and the thing about if you said you're going to South America soon?
I'm going to Peru, yes. Yep.
That's where Machu Picchu is, no?
It is, yeah. I'm going there to do ayahuasca, and I was gonna go there to see Machu Picchu, but I want to go in the jungle, like where that shit grows to have the experience. So I picked the jungle, but next time or something, I gotta go see that too. That's just way up in the mountain. Like, why would they pick that spot to build that?
Well, you know that the Inca worshipped the llama or the alpaca. The alpaca was sacred.
Right.
So they worship alpacas, which I think is sick. Bro, imagine an alpaca god. I'm going to get that made as a shirt. An alpaca god.
Yeah.
Bro, like an unforgiving alpaca. Can you imagine? Like the fucking gnarliest god ever.
Alpaca with like 3 eyes, like beaming a hieroglyphic beam out of his head.
What if that's the secret to all this, dude? The alpacas, and we've ignored them because they're just like so cuddly looking, but they're actually plotting to take over the fucking world,
dude. And that's why they make clothes out of their fur, dude. Because then when you're wrapped in it, it freaking like resonates you to like a different like dimension where the alpaca god is.
Well, I mean, you're not wrong, because in werewolf folklore, and in a lot of indigenous belief, when you wrap yourself, so the Hopi tribe had the snake people where they would dress up as snakes and they would turn into snakes. And in werewolf cosmology, you wear the wolf and you pick up its essence and you turn into a werewolf. It's a state of being. And then you have the stories where people literally morph into a wolf. That's like black magic and stuff. But you're not far off the track where if you wear an alpaca, you might resonate at this free. That's why they're always so fucking happy, bro. You've never seen a sad alpaca, dog.
Right. And if you don't like what they're up to, bam, fucking spit in your face. You know? So
alpaca gods. All right, I'm taking notes here. But yeah, I think that in a lot of these South American places, there are the archways and the doorways to nowhere. And right. I think
Puerta de Jayamarca, Gate of the Gods.
Let me look that one up. I think I know which one you're talking about. Is it the one at Pumapunku? Is that where? Hold
on. I don't know if it's the same spot, but I know it's just like the doorway where the gods were said to come through that mountain. It's like a solid rock opening.
What was the name of it? I mean, Puerta what?
Puerta de Jayamarca. I know it's spelled some like crazy way. I have no idea.
No, it's not too crazy. Jayamarca is Jaya and then Mark A. Pretty much is how you spell it. But nothing came up crazy. Here.
It's been wiped.
Jayamarca, maybe? Jayamarca. There we go. Yeah. Here we go. Yeah, this is right here. Like that, the Gate of the Gods.
Fucking Stargate, man.
Where the hell is this at, though?
I think it's in fucking Peru.
Oh, it is in Peru.
It is, right.
Aramumuru. How wild looking is that, dude? So, is an abandoned stone carving. Oh, Lake Titicaca. Lake Titicaca, which is also like a very mystical place too. There's a large freshwater lake in the end. I think there's been like UFO. Yeah, so Aramumuru is a popular tourist destination for paranormal pilgrimage. Legend has it the Inca priest in possession of a golden disc placed the disc in the small depression in the door, and the door being the niche carved into the rock and that caused the door to open. The golden disc supposedly dropped from the sky. Ooh.
Wow.
You know those priests back then were on some shit, bro.
Yeah, man. They took a big hit off that DMT bong and just walked right through that bitch.
Yeah, watch me manipulate this matter, bro. Like take another hit, and then he's just like warping light. And he's like, all right, you want to make this door open up? Like, sure, bro.
Like, can you turn the rock into liquid so we can walk through? Yeah, boom.
Oh man. Well, I think it's all has to do with resonance and everything. If you're able to resonate at the same frequency as the rock, everything has a frequency. If you're able to resonate at the same frequency, essentially, you can pass through. You can become one with it. Now, what happens when you know, like the Stargate where it's like watery or whatever? What happens at the other side, I don't know. I just think that there are literally levels to this shit, where there's levels to reality, and that's what the ancients were trying to talk about and convey in a certain way. But dude, how do you begin to talk about your very existence and how you can manipulate reality, essentially? Where it's like, how do you even write about that? I think they were seeing things because they were at a higher vibrational frequency back then, where they were able to see through the veil at all these places like Skinwalker Ranch, Mohenjo-Daro. You have the Bermuda Triangle's another one of them, dude, where the veil is thinner at these, they're called the 12 vial vortices around the world. And I think that the people back then, we didn't have all this 5G in the air, or Wi-Fi, or technology, or whatever it may be to suppress us, to bring us down. And they were more open to a lot of these things. It was more spiritual back then. And you had Christianization and Catholicism that came through. They're like, nah, fam, you're going to stop that pagan shit.
We're gonna burn all your fucking documents and steal all the good shit and fucking leave you guys in the dust.
His story, it's his story for a reason, because to the victor, the spoils, dude. And
Right,
I think
it's
that's...
not my story. It's fucking his story.
Yeah. Yeah. So, oh, dude, so apparently there's other gates of the gods, too. Look at this.
No shit.
Similar. So, King Midas's tomb, Puerta de Mayumarca. You have this other thing here, which is what, Solomon's Temple or something. And you have this thing here. What?
Well, yeah, and look at the pattern on the side of that one. It's, sacred geometry, fractalization.
Oh, look at the Stargate.
Right.
The city of the gods, high in the mountains of Peru, is home to one of the suspected Stargates due to rocky mountain terrain and protection from the Peruvian government. As an ancient archaeological site has gone vastly unexplored. Researchers still aren't certain whether or not this area actually contained a settlement, but the rock formations bear an interesting resemblance to dwellings and structures. The Gate of the Gods was discovered in 1996 by Jose Luis Delgado Mamani, a local tour guide who came upon the place as he hiked through the local foothills to familiarize himself with the area. As he that wasn't that long ago, bro. 1996.
Right. That's just like the first time that it was reported. Just
All right, so I think this is bullshit. So as he approached the massive gateway nestled into the rock formation, he was overcome with recognition. He had seen this very gateway before in his dreams. For years, a pink marble gateway with a smaller door inside, with a smaller insert door from which emanated a mysterious blue light, had presented itself to him while he slept. And the moment of discovery overwhelmed him almost to the point of fainting. How could this just be a fantastic coincidence? All right, bro. This dude was like, you know what? I'm going to get some clout from this.
And I'm the one who found it.
I'm the one who found it. So there are other... All right, so the Gate of the Sun in Tiwanaku in Bolivia, as well as 5 other archaeological points, all connected in a grid-like pattern whose lines intersected exactly where the plateau and Lake Titicaca happened to be. Locals claim to have witnessed significant UFO activity, such as twinkling blue lights and white glowing discs, signs of ancient advanced technology in Peru, or something even more out of the ordinary. Wow, bro, this is wild. And honestly, bro, like, if there had to be an ancient alien theory, I think it would be in Mesoamerica, in South America, because there's stuff like this more widely seen. There's a lot of and it's slept on, right? Because the Mac Daddy is Egypt. Everybody wants to go to Egypt because everybody knows about it. But there's places in Japan, there's places in China, there's places all over the world that are just as interesting as in Bosnia too. Have you seen the Bosnian pyramids?
Yes. I can't picture it right now, but I've definitely seen it before. Heard about it, seen it. Yeah, literally, I mean, every landmass, the ones that they're letting us know about, has pyramids on it,
Yeah, except the United States, right? No, allegedly.
Allegedly, I mean, some of those mounds.
They're mounds, bro. You refer to them as what they're mounds. They're not pyramids.
Right. Underneath that grass is just a mound.
It's just a mound, dude. Yeah.
And supposedly the Alaskan pyramid, that's like one of the biggest in the world. It's like pure, like black obsidian. It's like, but I mean, who knows if that's it? I've never seen an actual picture of that.
There's one in Antarctica too. You seen that?
Uh, yeah, but I mean, those pictures. I mean, I can't really tell from that. You know, like if it's real or not.
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
So
Nah,
it's
you got me.
insane,
You got me hyped up now on ancient civilization stuff.
dude. It's super interesting, man. It's just fucking pulls you in because it's like something in our DNA is like telling us like that's the shit that you need to talk about. That's the shit you need to talk about.
Look at how
Like
wild
that.
that is.
Yeah, just right in the side of the mountain. Like what?
And then it cracked, dude. Look at that.
Yeah. The Indian architecture interests the fuck out of me, man.
Wow.
Like some of those Indian, yeah, like that, dude. What? Come on, man. And maybe somebody just did that by staring at that mountain. You know, they were at a point where they could just think about
This
it.
is one of
and
my
that
favorite
would-
ones here. I forgot the name of this, but
That's exactly what I was just thinking about when I was talking about like the Indian stuff and like, yeah, that's insane, man. And that the people who study that, I mean, they say that it was started at the top and worked all the way down
yeah, dude.
into solid rock.
And they can't find the the stone that they took out. They can't find it anywhere near the area.
Wow,
Look at this, dude.
amazing.
It's
Jeez.
wild, bro. The things that they were able to do back then,
Right.
super crazy.
How come we don't build stuff like that today? Because we can't. We cannot. We can't copy it.
They had like a cosmic 3D printer. It's
Yeah.
like they were just 3D printing stuff. It's crazy.
3D printing stone buildings.
I'm about to go watch Indiana Jones or Tomb Raider or something.
Yeah, dude, I just watched like Kingdom of the Crystal Skull like last year. Like I finally watched that, and man, that is my girlfriend was telling me you got to watch that. Then, oh, you've never. Or someone at work was saying, oh, all this stuff you're talking about, you got to go watch that. So I watched it. Man, that's crazy as hell too. You know,
Yeah, Angkor Wat 2 is another really fascinating one. I don't know if you've seen that one before.
yeah, I know mushrooms grow there.
What?
Like all around Angkor Wat, supposedly like psilocybin grows all
So
right.
this is Angkor Wat, but look how wild that looks, dude. Like, what are these? Are spaceships? They say that these are the Vedas, the spaceships that they just
Vimana, right?
Vimanas. My bad. Vedas is the like their
Text.
their text. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm not too well versed in Hindu cosmology, so.
Right on.
But
yeah, man. What if?
Vimanas is the spaceship. Like this right here, it could have been a Vimana too. They freaking get in there and just blast off.
And some of the texts have blueprints to how to build that shit.
Yeah. No, dude, there's so much stuff that we don't even begin to comprehend. Even time itself, dude, is a man-made thing. It's fabricated by a man. Joseph Scaliger is the guy who's in Scaliger chronology, which is the AD BC system, was a Catholic priest, bro, a Jesuit. You know what I mean? So who knows if they've even corrupted that? They said they added 1,000 years onto time. So we can't even trust time itself. We don't know if these things actually happened 2,000 years ago or whatever it was. Because time is just a unit of measurement that some guy made up. But here you go. Look at this Machu Picchu at the top of the mountain there. That's wild.
That is wild. Yeah, one of the options was to do your ayahuasca right there, right in the Sacred Valley. Like that would be crazy, man.
Yeah, I don't know about that. You'd be seeing some shit and probably, I don't know, run out of oxygen because it's really high up in the mountain, so the oxygen is really thin.
Yeah.
Shit. Well, yeah, dude.
Well,
let's get the fuck out of here, bro. I think we did an hour. We'll link up
dude.
again soon. Really enjoyed our chat.
Yeah, man. Good to finally talk to you, and I'm sure we'll be talking again in the future, man. That was fun.
Well, we got
a Juan podcast.
I've been in Tampa a few times, bro, and you haven't been around, man. I've been already like 3 separate times, and every time I hit you up, you're always working for the Lizards.
Yeah, man. Well, I'm gonna be coming back soon in a couple weeks, and yeah, dude, I've been gone all summer. I've been gone since May.
Hey, making that money, bro. That's all that matters, dude.
Yeah, man. I gotta eat too, man. But yeah, I'll let you know if I see any lizards at work. And yeah, man, we'll chat soon.
Thanks for having me on, man.
Yeah, brother. Thank you.